Hey, what's going on? Luke here. It feels weird to be doing a video about the AFL game, but AFL 26 has been announced, and I'm here to sort of tell you why it's relevant to Rugby League 26 and why we might want to take a little sneak peek at what AFL 26 has to offer, if it has anything else to offer than what, it normally does, what we would expect. Now, I've gone through and I've had a look at, all the little details, and what I can confirm is that it is going to be $89 according to JB Hi-Fi. The platforms are going to be Xbox Series X, it's going to be PS4 and PS5. So it is going to be pretty much the same as what all the previous ones have been. Rugby 25 is actually the same. I believe on the Xbox One, it is the old model as well, at least on Rugby 25. So it remains to be seen what the Xbox sort of version is for this AFL game, but it is the Xbox One and the new Series X, so I don't know if that's going to be the exact same. I would also expect a Steam release, because obviously JB Hi-Fi is not going to be selling a Steam game. They don't do that, so I would expect a Steam one. I think in previous releases, in terms of at least the Rugby League one, possibly AFL, possibly Rugby, they don't necessarily release it at the exact same time. Steam seems to be a little bit later for whatever reason, although that could be changed by now, but I'm just off the top of my head, that seems to be, I don't know, somewhat true, but don't quote me on it in case I am wrong, but I'm pretty sure the Steam one has come out at later dates. So keep that in mind, even if Steam isn't advertised straight up. And speaking of advertisements, they pretty much have done 0 advertisements, which is what I said they did with the Rugby League games and possibly what they did with previous ones. Now, I think AFL 23, I'm pretty sure they hyped it up for quite a long time. The Rugby 25 had a beta test build as well. So it got released before it had been released. Like, you could actually play it, but they hadn't officially released it yet. If you had Steam, you could test it out. So there have been a little bit of hype for previous ones, but kind of how they have been with the Rugby League series, they just, hey, it's coming out next month. That's pretty much what it is. And also, if you're wondering, when is it coming out next month? It's coming out on the 8th, so it's less than a month away. So again, it shows like the Big Ant philosophy, I guess, is that they kind of just announce it and they're like, hey, it's out next month, guys. To everyone who's relying on a trailer being released in terms of the new Rugby League game, don't bank on it. Don't bank on it. I would love to, I'd like to think that we're going to get a trailer, and I feel like AFL 26 will have a trailer at some point, but in terms of waiting for the trailer and then being like, oh, it must be coming out soon, they don't go hand in hand with Big Ant. That seems to be their style. Pretty much every other Rugby League game that I can think of, literally it's just been announced and it's going to be out next month. And that's pretty much it. And usually there is a trailer, but at the same time, the announcement it's very quick. It's not like in the next couple of months we're going to be having a new Rugby League game come out. It's no, straight up, hey guys, Rugby League 26, yeah, it's coming out in 4 weeks. That's pretty much that's their style. So this sort of proves the point in terms of the AFL game. The Rugby one, like I said, was a little bit different because they ended up having play tests and betas and all that sort of stuff. So that was a little bit different, but yeah, in terms of the NRL, Rugby League, AFL stuff, that's a common theme with them. Now, I did touch on it before, but the price on JB Hi-Fi is $89. I think that's pretty much what I paid for the previous Rugby League Live 4 years and years ago. So in terms of inflation, that sort of stuff, definitely hasn't gone up. And even with the new releases on new consoles, I know some games 110 and all that, but I think 89 is quite reasonable for a brand new game. Now, Rugby League Live 4 had a lot of returns, and I've seen a lot of people talk about AFL 23 and say what a failure it was at the start, and a lot of people returned that and got refunds. So hopefully they sort of nail it right off the bat and there's no real issues, but I would expect there to be some issues. AFL fans definitely seem to think there's going to be issues. Rugby 25 fans have found plenty of issues as well. But I've already done a video going over Rugby 25 gameplay. Might have to do the same for the AFL 26 when it comes out. But what I do want to say is game modes. Now, the game modes are very self-explanatory, really. They're kind of, if you've ever played a sports game, they're pretty much it. Then the difference is pro team seems to be, it's like a sure thing now. It's not this big introduction that it was when it came out on AFL 23. And they still update it to this day, despite this game coming out in a month's time, whatever. So they're still advertising pro team on AFL 23. So it shows there is pretty good longevity and they're going to keep doing it, even despite there being a new game coming out, because a lot of companies don't do that. So, kudos to Big Ant for doing that. But in terms of other game modes, it looks like there's going to be a coach mode. There's a be a pro mode, whatever they want to call it. AFL, obviously, they have the draft and all that sort of stuff, which is a little bit different to Rugby League 26 or just Rugby League in general. But I would imagine we would just start off as, an SG ball or just as a juniors players, and essentially exactly what we've got in previous games. That's pretty much what I expect. Maybe a little bit more refined. Hopefully a few more options, and hopefully the gameplay isn't as clunky, because I tried to be a pro in Rugby League Live 4 and it was almost unplayable. I'm not gonna lie. Like I played a couple games and I was like, no, I can't do this. I played it on stream. I couldn't even pretend like I was having fun. Rugby League Live 3, it was a new game mode. Maybe I had some rose tinted glasses on, but I feel like it regressed from Live 3 to Live 4. But other game modes, like I said, Pro Team is there. But this one's not actually a game mode, but it's definitely worth noting is that the Academy, which is their version of the Fan Hub, I'm pretty sure, the Academy is existent in AFL. Like the Fan Hub is probably going to be there in Rugby League 26. I think that's the best indicator. That's their little, create a player mode. And it seems like there is some sort of community on there, like community creation. So I think we are going to see the Fan Hub. Whether it's called the Fan Hub or not, I'm not exactly sure, but it seems like it's definitely going to be there. So I think that's a huge tick for us, because there's always debuting players. And as much as they want to do player scans on all the players, like, it's just, there's going to be ones who slip through the cracks, or, get a whole different hairstyle, or just little things like that. But, definitely positive signs. Even in terms of other things I was reading, in terms of just the players in general. They've scanned all the women's players. They've scanned all the men's players. That's like AFLW, AFL, just the normal one. Same way as we have NRLW. So, it does confirm what I already knew, like in terms of Kennedy Charrington's little post that she had been scanned. But it's just further confirmation that they've done it for the AFL game. Like, it makes sense for them to do it for the NRL game. And I think they even did it for the rugby game too. So that definitely seems to be a thing. Also worth noting, as you would have seen at different points throughout this video, even the thumbnail, you can see the title. It's got, I don't even know who they are, to be honest. I saw one was, is it Crip? I've seen him on TikTok. Sabrina Carpenter was like commenting on his thing. That's about all I know him for. I'm not an AFL fan. But you have a male and a female athlete on the front, which is kind of what we thought. It's what they did for AFL 23. It's what I think NRL is going to be doing as well. Remaining to be seen who it's going to be, but that's just my thoughts. I think we're going to see a male and female cover star on Rugby League 26. Also, the fact that they've got an AFL 23 and then now AFL 26 out in Rugby Union 25, like, it's definitely called Rugby League 26. If it's getting released, the fact that AFL's 26, like, this isn't Rugby League 25, it's going to be 26. It makes sense. Kind of already thought that, but maybe it adds a little bit more legitimacy to, like, the logo leagues, possibly, for the Rugby League 26 game. I don't know if that's viable, but just a little thought I'd throw out there. Now, there's just one more thing I want to touch on, and I just kind of want to assure you that, like, the AFL game coming out, I think is a good thing for Rugby League fans, because it just shows you that they are working on it. Also, we get a look at the time frames between previous games to the next one. We also get to see that obviously they just announce it and it's like, hey, it's coming out next month. So we don't have to worry about like, oh, we need a trailer. Otherwise we won't get it for months and months and months. So we do have something to sort of go off there. You can compare things. But for everyone who's going to be like, whoa, how come they're announcing the AFL game and they aren't announcing the Rugby League one? Well, we saw what happened with the AFL one and they announced it and it wasn't ready and it got delayed and essentially just caused a lot of problems for Big N. That's probably the safest way to put it. And I think they've kind of learned from their mistakes and they've given rough ballparks of when the game will be released, but they don't want to lock anything in just in case, you know, things do go wrong, because the AFL 23 fans are still annoyed about it now that AFL 26 has been announced. That was definitely a comment was, oh, I hope they don't butcher it like they did AFL 23. So that's probably why they're not going to announce Rugby League 26 until it's kind of a sure thing. But in terms of the AFL game 2, they have something to work on. It's an ongoing series. This isn't them revamping it and rebooting a game from 7-8 years ago or whatever. So it does make sense that they would have something to work on and they can just come out and announce it. They've got a little bit of a blueprint in terms of the AFL game. So I wouldn't look too far into it. That's just my thoughts on it. But guys, AFL 26 is coming out. Are you excited for Rugby League 26? Do you think it's going to be better than AFL 26? Better than Rugby 25? I think so. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. See yous. Well, that's the end of this video. If you happen to enjoy it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe. You know the drill at this point. Everybody YouTuber says it. Just go ahead and do it. It'd really help me out. Also, why not go ahead and check out some of these other videos that are on the screen right now.